allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, let's have a roll call.
Mr. Cangrove.
Aye.
Mr. Wilker.
Aye.
Mr. Ford.
Aye.
Mr. Beckman.
Here.
Mr. McAdams.
Aye.
We have all the board members present.
All righty. Action on previous minutes that we have here. Anybody have any corrections to the notes?
I did see one correction on I think the last guy that stood up for testimony, I think his last name is misspelled in there. It's got the complete wrong last name. But that's it. It's bottom of page 2.
Bottom of page 2.
I'm pretty sure it's Craig Hornschmeyer, and it's got something else written in there.
Okay, noted that. Will you make that correction?
Yes, we will.
Okay, great. And with that said, old business.
We need to make a motion.
Make a motion.
I'll make a motion to
Yeah.
accept the minutes with that one correction made.
I'll second it.
Roll call, Mr. Cangrove.
Aye.
Mr. Volker.
Aye.
Mr. Ford.
Aye.
Mr. Beckman.
Aye.
Mr. McAdams.
Aye.
Passes.
Okay. Next item is old business. And basically, I guess we just tabled this for that. The only thing we have is our case we have tonight. So with new business, I guess, I don't know, is this the time to ask, are you guys, gentlemen, going for a continuance, or are you going to make your presentation even though, from what I can gather, everything's not all here yet? I'm just asking.
Yeah, you're gonna have to swear in.
Sure. And if you would, raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, got it.
State your name, please, for the record.
Absolutely. My name is Matt Price. I'm an attorney in Denton's in Indianapolis, Indiana, with an address at 10 West Market Street.
Thank you.
I represent Arcadia Infrastructure, the petitioner, in the conditional use application and the variance application regarding height. Just to give you a little bit of background, I think you're familiar with it, but to put it on the record, we filed this case back in July of this year. It was a documentary hearing on August 2nd. And in the interim between that hearing date and our filing date, Mr. McCormick, who I've worked with before in my career in another jurisdiction, was diligent and followed up with us and said, here are some items here that I think both the township and the petitioner would benefit from seeing to augment your application. And we had an initial call, a follow-up call several days later. He asked for those materials to be available by August 21st, which at the time we thought was very achievable. We subsequently learned that the radio frequency engineer who had to do the bulk of the work to supplement the materials could not make those materials available until just a day or so ago. And so we felt like if the township and Mr. McCormick had had the opportunity to review those materials and wanted to go forward, we would certainly be willing to go forward. But on the other hand, we did file a continuance request because we believe that the staff and yourselves might benefit from having an opportunity to study it further. So if you'd like to continue it, we wouldn't object to that. And we think given the importance of the case for everyone in this room, it would be good to have it fully vetted before a final decision is made.
Tonight?
Correct.
Okay, well, with that,
No, with the
Yeah,
continuance.
With the
you
continuance,
have the opportunity
not-
to study it and come back
With
and
the
have it.
continuance.
with the continuance.
Correct.
But, yes, I agree with everything you just said.
Right, I do too.
But, Mr. Chairman, we need to have, regardless, we need to have the order of the meeting and the case still presented.
Correct.
And read by Mr. McCormick. And so I'm glad we found that out. That does help us. If you wouldn't mind, take a seat right now. You're
Yep.
good. And if we could proceed with the reading of case
Is that one that,
number 5-24-A.
Certainly. So case 5-24-A, the applicant is Arcadia Infrastructure One LLC. Actually, the owner is a different owner, my mistake on the slide here. It is the Mount Carmel Boosters. Site location is 4762 Tealtown Road. Parcel number is indicated on the slide as 413106. B is in boy 106. The zoning is planned development, and there are two requests associated with this application. The first being a conditional use request to allow a wireless telecommunication tower facility on the site, otherwise known as a cell tower commonly. And also a variance request regarding the height of the tower. And as was mentioned here a moment ago by the applicant's representative, Mr. Price, we received correspondence on August 22nd asking for a continuance to the October 3rd, 2024 Board of Zoning Appeals hearing. And at that time, I forwarded that request to the board. Also put together a memo to that effect, and also that same day prepared a mailer to notify all the neighbors so that they would know as soon as we possibly found out that there was going to be a request for a time extension, acknowledging that there was no guarantee what the decision was going to be, so that basically they were still encouraged to attend the meeting tonight, because either the whole case will be reviewed in its entirety tonight, or otherwise we'll plan to be heard on October the 3rd at 7 p.m. in this room. And that is where we are at this point.
All right. Well, do we have a motion to continue?
We can do that. Yes, we can. I would like to, Mr. Price, would you mind coming back up? I do want to just ask a couple of questions, just to make sure that when we do continue, we aren't at the same place we are now. There was a couple of items I noted in the staff report. One of the things said proof still needs to be provided by the applicant that this proposal has been reviewed and or approved by the FCC. Is that something that we will have that next time we meet, or is that something you already have, or?
We can provide documentation that reflects that it has received any requisite approval.
Okay. And then I know when we will meet, just so you're prepared, I'll have some questions regarding a couple of things, and one of those things has to do with making sure to demonstrate the need for the tower as identified by the service ring. What we want to make sure is that we're actually providing coverage for additional. It's unclear to me how this is actually increasing the coverage to where people actually live. Now the thought may be, well, we know they're coming there. Okay, I'll need some clarification on that. And then applicants for wireless communication facilities must demonstrate that technically suitable and feasible sites are not available in a non-residential district. So just be prepared to be able to demonstrate that. That's all. And you probably already know that, but I would be kicking myself a month from now if we didn't have that answer, and all I had to have done was to ask for it. That was all I had going on in my head, and I'm doped up on medicine right now, so these sharp guys probably got something better.
I appreciate it.
Now, I would agree with that. That's, same thing that we kind of all came across when we were looking through the packet.
I think it's only fair, though, to probably table this
Correct.
for the residents that were in the belief that it was going to be heard on October 3rd.
I agree with
That may not be
that.
here, because there might have been 20 people here at the last meeting for or against, and there's only maybe 8, like here tonight, so
Yeah, we had a huge crowd last time.
if you want, I'll make a motion.
Can I say something? Can I ask a question? A question that I have is, just out of curiosity, who approached who for this site location? Did Verizon, did they contact the Mount Carmel boosters, or how did that play out?
Sure, so the way the process typically works is Verizon is receiving feedback from its customer base about service issues in a particular area. They then conduct an investigation into how their network is functioning, determine where the gap is occurring, and then they charge Mr. Carr, Steve Carr, who's with a site selection company, to then go into that search area and see if he can find a place to put it.
Okay.
So it's kind of working together.
Okay, thank you. I was just curious.
You okay with the motion?
Yeah, I just wanted to say
Another
just one
question?
thing.
I feel like you have a
I know, it's the NyQuil talking. Mr. Carr, it looked like you wanted to say something a minute ago. If you really want to get that, thank you, Mr. Price, I appreciate it. If you really wanted to get that out, I wanted to give you the opportunity.
You want to raise your right hand, swear, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth,
Yes.
and your name and address.
My name is Steve Card, 2894 Aldersgate Drive, Cleveland, Indiana, 46143. The thing that I wanted to bring up to you was you made comments about the FCC, and that is an item that we have. It's a document that you don't get your official license until you build it, is get ready to
Okay.
broadcast.
Okay, thank you for helping me understand that.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
Anybody else have anything?
I'm done now,
Okay.
I promise.
Okay.
You there you go.
I'll go ahead and make a motion to table the case until next month, which I believe is October 3rd at 7 PM. I think I would like to also include a stipulation in the tabling that the applicant possibly reimburse the township for the legal ad and the additional mailing cost to re-notify everybody. I don't know if that's legal or not. Probably up to you, but I feel like that's only fair. We've notified them twice. There has to be some kind of cost associated with it.
I don't know what the practice has been in the township previously. I know in the jurisdictions that I've worked with previously that was part of what we would have the applicant do. In this case, it's not a huge expenditure. We're probably talking about something that's under $100, but at the same time, if the expense is being borne, the township has already spent money to do that once, and we had to send an additional notice out when we received the request for the extension. So I don't know that I consider it to be it's not a great expense, and it's also something that the applicant has essentially asked for, right, with the extension. So usually, if there are costs incurred with an extension, the applicant, it's not unusual. for
Yeah,
them to
you have a
pay
problem
that.
with that? or-
On $1 million.
Tell you what, yeah,
We wanted to get you to agree, and then we were going to figure up the cost.
and then we'll
This
hit
is how we run a surplus here.
it. There you go.
No problem.
Okay, great. There you go.
So was that the completion of the
That was it.
motion? You made the motion to continue this with that stipulation of the reimbursement of the fees associated with the extension, and then I will second that motion.
Yes, sir. Would you come up here?
Well,
No?
what, were you wanting to speak in favor or against either one of the?
I just had a question.
Okay, good, okay, sure, yeah, go ahead, come up, we'll swear you in. This is just a point of clarification is what you're wanting? Okay,
First of all, this microphone is not working, so
no one's hearing back there?
we
okay.
can't hear the
He-
back here.
Would you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right,
And then say-
name and address.
Albert Berger, 1342 Ball,
Gotcha.
all right? And so, Mr. McCormick, you mentioned that neighbors were notified via the letters, correct? What is the definition of neighbor associated with that property?
So literally, the township's responsibility is to just notify the adjoiners. The township actually notifies anyone within 200 feet of that property line. So everyone within 200 feet of that property line should have been notified. And we additionally post a public hearing sign out by the site, and we additionally.
I drove past it going, what did that say?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we're not legally obligated to even do that, and if you go to other jurisdictions, they do less than that, and we also do what's required in terms of being put in the paper. So I mean, if you have suggestion of other means to get the word out there, we are more than meeting the law. That's what I can tell you.
Understood. I just feel that, personal opinion, fellas, personal opinion, that I don't think enough neighbors and enough people that would actually be possibly affected by an event like this are aware that this is going on. Okay? Just because it's the, properties that physically touch the ballpark, that's a start.
Right.
But there are still others that I feel would be interested in this, and maybe not their property physically touch the ballpark property, but they haven't been given an opportunity.
Maybe if your neighbors,
to be aware of it and come to.
you should let them know. If it's your neighbors,
I-
all the neighbors.
I'm trying, but I felt that was more of a township.
It's just a.
No, we appreciate the feedback,
Yeah.
we really do, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
So, I mean, if you want to talk to me at some point after the meeting, anytime,
Yeah.
I can explain to you how that all works. There's a legal process. In other jurisdictions where I've worked, there has been a greater distance in the past, but it is something that's on the books when the applicant applies, to be fair to everybody.
Yeah.
So I understand your point. I can talk to you about how it's been handled in other places where I've worked. But we are already going above and beyond what's actually in our code.
Just had to voice an
No,
opinion.
No, that's
I
fine.
appreciate it. Thank
That's
you.
what it's all about.
And I'm not saying anything against you, Mr. Clark, none whatsoever. But just, if nothing else, maybe this is a procedural thing, I don't know. But since Baldwin Road and Teal Lane and Tealtown Road, are all bordering that property, let's call it, and even Baldwin Trail, that even if the folks that live on those roads around that property, even if their properties do not physically touch the ballpark, I would think that they would be interested in this event, in this discussion, things like that. So even if they are on one particular side, I'll just use my road as an example, if they are just on the one side of Baldwin Road, I'm sure ones on the opposite side of Baldwin Road, or Teal Lane, or whatever the case may be, they would be interested. And so, yeah, for the residents to go around and knock on doors and say, hey, you need to come to the township meeting, I think that's a little above and beyond, and I think that's more of, forgive me, your all's responsibility. But to your point, if you're going above and beyond the legal portion of it, I understand. I'm just trying to say from a goodwill point of view, I think others would be interested.
Thank you, I appreciate it. We have a motion and a second. I think we're ready for roll call if we don't have anything else.
Okay. Mr. Cangro.
Aye.
Mr. Volker.
Aye.
Mr. Ford.
Aye.
Mr. Beckman.
Aye.
Mr. McAdams.
Aye.
Motion passes. So we are slated to hear this case Thursday, October the 3rd at 7 PM. We will have another case that evening. So we will definitely have a hearing. And we will make sure we have no issues with the start of the meeting and the AV next time.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second that.
Roll call, Mr. Cangro.
Aye.
Mr. Volker.
Aye.
Mr. Ford.
Aye.
Mr. Beckman.
Aye.
Mr. McAdams.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thanks, everybody, for
Thank you.
joining in.